Hey, hey, que rumor, hey. Wow, you guys, long time no see 'em. I guess you can't see 'em. My name is Ofuchi, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I am doing a knitting vlog of sorts. I'm very excited to talk to you guys. I have been knitting for about 3 or 4, today's 2025. I've been knitting for, I think, 3 years. I'll insert a clip that I actually filmed when I first started knitting, but I have exciting news to share with you guys. I learned how to knit. If you don't know, I can crochet. Like, here's this trashy top that I made, and I say trashy because it's just not beautiful, but this was crocheted. I learned how to knit. But today I will be talking about my fall knitting plans, finished objects, acquisitions, and goals in knitting. I actually have a lot of them, but I'll just mention a few. I'll probably do a separate video if I feel so inclined to do so. For my finished objects, I'm going to start off with this cable knit sweater that is done in this beautiful teal. I have not weaved in the ends, so this was ended up using Cascade 220 Superwash in Emerald City. This is my first garment for an adult. I made a garment for my nephew, which was just garter stitch. This is also my first time doing cables and my first time, I think I did Jenny's elasticated bind off. No, I don't know. It was my first time knitting a sweater. It was my first time doing cables. It was my first time buying wool at a yarn store and not like at Joann's, which is where I got the yarn I made for my nephew. As you can see, there's a cable running down in the center. This pattern was from a library book that I checked out. I'll put the name or information on the screen. And it took me a long time. It's sewn up panels, and I just don't like that because the knitting back and forth, it's hot, so I'm gonna take this off. Panel sweaters are just not my thing, and I've only done one, and I can just tell that it just slows me down and I lose momentum and hope because I'm not seeing it progress. I also messed up a bit on the sleeve, but yeah, I cast it on, let's say, October beginning, maybe, and I cast it off on the 4th of July. So about half a year, I wasn't knitting consistently at all. I was trying to get a job, and then I got a job, and I was trying to get a house, and then I got a house, and then I was trying to figure out life. So I finally sat down and I did it because it got to the point where I finished the front and back panels in May. All that was left was the sleeves. I did one sleeve, almost, ran out of yarn, ordered a new one, finished that up, did another sleeve, ran out of yarn, ordered 2 more, and it was just yarn chicken. I lost and I lost and I lost. Nevertheless, it is finished. I have yet to wear it because I finished it in the dead of summer, and it's September now. I don't have any shame, I don't have any shame. It takes us however long it takes us, okay? The second is this. This is the Breezy long sleeve tee. This is the first pattern I purchased by Kiss Kiss Rhinestones. It's not as negative ease as I would have liked. It's pretty positive. I'll say like maybe 3 inches positive ease. And this is knit up using Big Twist cotton from Joann's, which is 85% cotton and 15% polyester. Which when I was buying this initially 3 years ago, I thought, oh my god, like this is such good cotton yarn. Like, knitting is so inexpensive, which it doesn't have to be. But once again, I did not weave in the ends. Here's how it looks. I kind of modified the neckline here. I did however many I wanted to do. And I did a simple bind off for the arms. I was playing yarn chicken, knitting from both ends of the same skein of yarn, which is why this string is here, because these were originally connected. And then I bound off on one arm, on the other arm, and then I cut it. So I'm really excited to wear this when it cools a bit. It was an interesting construction because I think we did the back cast it on, did the front, joined under the arms, knit the body, and then did the arms. I would like to revisit that when I'm not using yarn that's so frustrating, or when I'm not feeling pressed for time. I put an internal deadline on this, which is why I didn't have fun making it, as well as the fact that I didn't have enough yarn in my head since Joanne is defunct. So it was really stressful not knowing how this project would end up. In my head it was longer on the body and a little longer on the sleeves, but I used up all of this yarn, which is what I used when I made my first knit garment. So it was a full circle moment, and I'm glad that I was able to do so with something that I'll wear, even if it's not as lengthy as I want. This one I did using Jenny's super stretchy bind off, and I think I actually need to go in to my first bound off stitch because there's a little divot. I'm not a fan, so I'm gonna either sew that closed or figure out how to get rid of it. But yeah, it was my first time doing an elasticated bind off. I did it for the body, which in hindsight I probably could have just done a standard bind off because it's the body. But super proud of this. It's cooler than the sweater. I would keep it on, aside from the fact that I am sitting in the western facing sun. So those are my two finished objects. I'm trying to think if I have any more. I made a scarf. I was commissioned to do a scarf by my friend, so I'll insert a photo of me wearing it. That was knit up in Cascade Prima cotton, which was the most fun cotton to work with. Oh my god, I was making the sweater. Oh, the pattern for that one is, it is the Penny Plain Scarf by Lorelei Knit, or Lorelei Designs. And this was so fun once you understand the abbreviations, because it'd be like SL2 WYIF bonkers. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, and you can use any size yarn, any size needle. You literally just knit until you're done. It was a mindless, it required a little bit of mind because depending on where you are, you increase or decrease. But it was such a quick piece to knit up. I had so much fun working with that Cascade yarn. Prima cotton, so far from Cascade, has been the best cotton I've used, and I've only used one other cotton, which I'll talk about when I get into my whips. But yeah, I have 3 finished objects so far. And I'm going to start with my whips by introducing the test knit that I'm doing. This is the zip knit cardigan by Aurora Studios, Aurora Design. I'll put the information on the screen. But this is being knit up in some yarn that I don't have off the top of my head. I'm banking on blocking to help out with the length for the body as well as for the sleeves, and I'm working on the second sleeve. This is going to be a zipper piece, which one of my goals was to do something that required hardware. So I'm excited to cast off the sleeve block and then find a zipper for it. It's also my first test knit, which was also another goal of mine. And it's been okay. I just, once again, internal deadline. This is due at the end of September. Today is September 9, but in my head, I'm like, I need to finish this week. Because it's knit up in chunky yarn, it should not take me long to finish, which is probably why I'm putting a fire under my own butt. But I am in love with the color of this. I was going to say wool, but it's not completely. It is like, it's plastic wool blend, and it was either this or wool and alpaca, and the wool and alpaca only had like beige, navy blue, black, and it was cheaper by like 50 cents or so. However, the colors weren't something that I wanted. I knew I wanted to have a beautiful knit up cardigan, so I went with the plastic one. No shade, I'm just not a fan of acrylic. When I work with it, it does do the flurries and they do fly everywhere. It doesn't feel bad. It is a little itchy, but that could also be the wool, so I'm hoping that blocking helps. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say on that one. It worked out pretty well. I casted it on September 1st, and I'm hoping to cast off by next week. So let's say next Wednesday, so the 17th. So about a 17-day project, and then I'll get zippers and whatnot. Oh, that's my first whip. I lied. Okay. Another whip I have is this micro skirt that I think this was probably the second thing this is the third thing I ever knitted, because the second thing I ever knitted is still a whip. But I have micro skirt, and I did a provisional cast on, which I'm proud of myself because this was after a year of knitting. So in 2023, provisional cast on, I did the bottom, I free-handed ruffles, and then I picked up my stitches and I continued to the top. So I'm very proud of myself because this is a freehand knit and it fits. My only problem is I didn't know you could do an elasticated bind off in knitting, so I tried to crochet 1x1 ribbing on top, and that did not stretch over my booty. So I ripped it off, and this yarn is very annoying to use. I'll put the information on the screen. It's acrylic, it's Michaels, it's fluffy. It's so easy to split with your needles, but it looks so cute. It probably doesn't wear well, like it doesn't stand the test of time well, but I haven't worn this, so I can't say for sure. Just with storage, I already see some like fuzzies on the yarn. Maybe I'll put in B-roll for y'all. But I'm excited to get this done and start wearing it. My sister was like, oh, it can also be a tube top. And I'm like, baby girl, Peplum is out right now. We gotta wait till Maria's for it to come back in. So I'm just really excited to finish this because it is my first freehand knit. Which is so funny because if you ask me, I'd be like, oh, I don't know how to knit without a pattern. Your Honor, they're lying. My second whip is the second thing I ever knitted after making the thing for my nephew, and it was, I think it's the Sweet Ass Pie dress, which is a pattern from Hobie Knits. This is knit up in Mainstays cotton, which is a Walmart brand cotton, and this is not, it's kind of like the acrylic in the way that it's like fuzzing up. Not fun to work with. It's alright. It was like $2.30 a skein USD, so I shouldn't have expected much. But I'm gonna finish it eventually. I didn't have 5mm needles or 4mm needles, which was a problem. But yeah, not much to say there. I'm modifying it now, so instead of it being a tie halter top, I want to make it a halter top that has a shoulder. I'll put in the inspiration that I saw. Technically, I'm just fudging things. I'm making left, making right, like knitting two together, slip slip knitting whenever I see fit. So it's not going to be the cutest because you can tell when I started doing the decreases. I don't care. I want it to be completed because I want to wear a garment that I started 2 years ago. My next, that's it for whips. I only have 3, which is pretty good. And I'll go into acquisitions. So this yarn is Morocco Vintage Chunky in the color 6175 Fennel. I ordered way more than I needed because I forgot it's chunky. With this amount, I think I'd probably have enough to make the same test knit twice, but I wanted to do a less oversized raglan with this. Maybe even something that has a 3/4 zip instead of a full body zip, because I don't need 2 full body zip raglan cardigans. We'll still see. I'm gonna let that sit because I'm not trying to deal with that yarn again. I just feel so stupid ordering more than I needed because it was like $85 for 11 hanks, and it's like plastic and wool, which is fine. It's machine washable. I want it to be easy to care for. I was up at a creative reuse with my friend Jakora. Shout out to Jakora. And shout out to my sister because I saw some yarns and I wanted to buy them, but I don't have any money. False. I had a credit card, which I'm not irresponsibly using. I also had the money to pay for it. I just wanted to be funny. But for acquisitions, I have this cotton merino yarn by Katya from the Concept line. 70% cotton, 30% virgin wool. Why did I say merino if it just says virgin wool? It's Italian. Anyways, but I have this yarn. I think it came in a bag of 10. And it was for $34.99. Which is great because each of these would have been $10 is what the label says. So I just saved myself $150. Not funny. But yeah, I got this in the color 108, and I've seen some projects on Ravelry that are so cute. The one I'm thinking of right now is this Peter Pan collar t-shirt. Sounds so cute, but I also want to make sure I'm not knitting something just because I saw someone else do it. I want to give myself a challenge of thinking of what will work for me. That's my first acquisition. My next acquisition was some Nora Yarn Silk Garden in the color 423. This is 45% silk, 45% mohair, 10% wool, 10 skeins for $49.99. The day before I went to the creative use, I thought about Nora Yarn. I was literally in my kitchen sweeping and I was like, one day I want to feel confident enough as a knitter to buy myself pricier yarns like Noro. And then I saw this the next day. I had to get it. And I did. Then I found, the tag is in here, I'm not taking it out, but I got about three full hanks, and then there was like some that was wound of this silk yarn. It was $7.49, and I'm not assuming it to be mulberry silk or anything high quality, but it is silk. I did the burn test and it's really cute. I'm gonna make the penny plain scarf out of this for myself. And the last thing I got, I left in the room. Okay, my last yarn acquisition is Woolfolk's straw. Okay, this is 50% Ovis 21 Ultimate Merino and 50% linen. I got the linen wool, y'all. I got the linen wool. I think there are, here it is, 10 hanks, and this is in the color S7. This was priced for what, $100, so $99.99. And I've never worked with linen before, but I wanted to, and I knew that linen and wool, in my head, it just screams heirloom piece. I've seen some patterns on Ravelry made up in this very colorway, and I'm excited to get there. I caked up one of them because I just could not wait. I haven't done a gauge swatch. It doesn't feel too bad, but I know that over time linen will relax, so I'm not too worried. But that's all the yarn I got from the creative reuse. Oh. Okay. And I know I said I only had 3 whips, but I have a 4th one. My sister wanted a skinny scarf knit up in kid silk. So we have the same Barocco Aerial color, 65% mohair super kid and 35% silk in the color 34103. And then I have Lang Yarns Kid Color Mohair Super Kid / Silk in the color 1079. So this is more of like a summery scarf in the making. This is more of a wintry scarf in the making. I'm doing Mildred squares, but I'm modding them to rectangles, which means I have to rip all of this back and do my math, because a regular pattern for Mildred square calls for a knit 2 together and then a slip knit on the opposite sides of a stitch marker. But if I'm doing a rectangle, I need to increase the ratio. So this is going to require some math. I told her I'd work on it after my test knit. But that leads us into my knitting plans. Y'all, I want to make the micro shorts by Loopy Studio. I want to make the micro shorts. I want to make the micro shorts. I already bought the pattern. It's literally on my wall. Only catch, I want to do it in black glitter yarn for the Rico Nasty concert that I'm going to in October. Ay. I haven't found yarn that fits the bill. I went to the yarn store. I was told I could either find something that has glitter spun in, that it might be uncomfortable, or I can hold some like glittery thread embroidery floss or something together, which will check off my list goal of holding 2 together. But I don't know yet. But I'm thinking micro shorts, star bra, and a bolero, black and glitter. That's my idea. That plus my Steve Madden boots. Ciao. Ciao, 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 ciao. So that's an outfit idea in the making. I'm gonna try to find the yarn at the Fiverr Fest that I'll be going to in 2 weeks. But I don't know. If I don't find the yarn, what do I do? I have a full month from the end of September to get the items knitted and crocheted up. I thought about doing stuff in acrylic because I've done knit shorts. I've done crochet shorts in acrylic before, but I never used elastic on them, so it's really just unflattering. And it's acrylic, it's gonna get hot. I want to do a little bit more research to figure out what yarn type would be best for me. I'm thinking cotton, if I can get like a Prima cotton, like Cascade again. Might run that back, hold it with some thread that's glittery or something like that. But that's one of the plans that I have. I don't even know why I'm recording this video anymore. I just wanted to talk to you guys. I had an order. Hold on. Another fall plan that I had was color work. So I found this pattern called Cubics. It was found by the Wayback Machine. It is a color work cardigan with a zipper because y'all know me, I wanted my hardware. But since I already have a zip-up cardigan, I'm kind of not feeling it. But I already bought the yarn. It's caked up. It's on the bottom of my mirror in my room, and it's sat there since July. So I low-key gotta go with it. And I think it'd be a nice piece to have. Just something a little bit more characteristic in my closet. I'm knitting it in a blue and a white. Or an off-white. I can't remember. But I'll put the color stuff information up here. It's Cascade Not Superwash Wool. It'll be my first time using a Not Superwash wool. And I'm excited. Worried it's a little itchy, but I think I'll be fine. That all being said, I went to the store. I went to Half Price Books and I bought this book. It is called Alice Starmore's Book of Fair Owl Knitting. I went back to Half Price Books because I saw a book on Irish knitting, which explained the patterns, the symbols, what they meant, and like the regions they're from, and I was enamored. I don't know why I didn't buy it. I should have bought it, but I went back and it was gone. But I saw this, which kind of does the same thing with Scotland's Fair Isle. And in here, there is a pattern for some mittens that I think would be absolutely darling. It even has a chart. And I was thinking, how cute would this be for a colorwork project? Now, they use quite the amount of colors. I don't know if I do all that, but if I like abstracted this into just a blue and white, I could justify having already bought the yarn, but nah. It's an idea though. This is such a cute book. I'm so excited to dive into it because they also have like patterns for what? Border pattern, Gansey, cotton sweater, cardigans, v-neck. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it talks to, look at, you guys. I'm gonna have to put in B-roll. But that's another thing I want to do for color work, which is in my fall plans. My second fall plan is to finish my test knit. We are on track. Another fall plan is a beanie, and not just any knitted beanie. I want to do like one of those like school caps. I'll put some pictures from Pinterest up here, but in my book, The Cool Girl's Guide to Knitting by Nikki Trench, there is a beanie hat in here that's done in chunky yarn, which I have chunky yarn, but I don't want this thing verbatim. I want something with like color work on it. I know, color work again, OMG again. I've seen some like beanies with some fish. I heard something called Fish Girl Fall. I'm not familiar with it, but I think that'd be cool if I can do like fish, one with its head here, one with its head here, like sardines all around my beanie, which I'm sure it won't be that hard to find a chart and like place it on my beanie, but math. The first stretch goal I want to talk about is this beautiful, beautiful, absolutely stunning and gorgeous photo of this turtleneck halter top that one of my friends posted on Instagram. I'm in love. I'm in love. Am I a turtleneck person? You never know until you try. It is a sleeveless, well, I guess that's what halter, no. It's a sleeveless halter top with a chunky oversized turtleneck collar. And I just love. I love. I also have another picture of something similar that my sister sent me. This is also really cute. This is a video by Second Hand Huns, and they're wearing this marled gray, dark purple, brown even, a halter that has, what's this called, ribbing on the side, and it has like a turtleneck as well. As you can tell, sleeveless turtlenecks. I'm easily influenced. Another stretch goal I have is socks. Once again, I have a sock book. This is the Twisted Sisters sock workbook by Lynn Vogel. I got this at an estate sale because I told myself I want to learn how to knit socks. I think that'd be fun. These look like funky patterns. I'm sure if I read, I would get so much information from them. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten there yet. I just picked up the book because I knew eventually I wanted to do that. Sorry about that. My camera shut off because I've been going. But I also have double pointed needles. I bought these when I first started knitting. I've never knitted on these. I've never used them. I might have another set, but these are number 2. So 22.75 millimeter needles. And I want to knit socks. I want to knit beanies. I want to use my double pointed needles. I have these by Susan Bates. They're sock set, 5 of each. It goes 1.5 millimeters, 1.75 millimeters, 2 and 2.25 millimeter needles. I picked them up when I picked up the sock book. So that's another stretch goal. I'm hovering up. Oh, another thing I dream of, and I think of it often, is a cobalt blue sweater with, you guessed it, a chunky turtleneck, but also high ribbing. I think high ribbing has also been in the knitting circle because allegedly there's a Miu Miu top that's like, or the MILF top is a great example of this, where the ribbing extends to like underneath your bust and then it's just stockinette up here. I want to do something not to that caliber because I want to have a sweater that's pretty big and loose in an electric blue, a cobalt blue, an electric cobalt blue, and then have ribbing probably go up to like here, you know, just a little bit more. I played with it with this test knit. You probably cannot see, but it has about 2.5 inches of ribbing on the cuffs. But I just think that'd be really darling. And I think B Creative Knits, she's making a sweater that's also playing with the length of ribbing, or she made, because I watched a little bit of the video today. But that'd be nice to do. Another stretch goal would be the Miu Miu top that was aforementioned, which I get to see, but I'm just gonna use the Miu Miu and the MILF top interchangeably, and if they're not the same, I apologize. I did not do my research, but let's go off with the MILF top, something that goes up with ribbing until the bust, and then, or the under bust, and then it's like regular stockinette. That, and then having sleeves, and then that big chunk of ribbing for the cuff. I think that'd be really nice. And for my goal on these specifically, I want to design them to suit me. Obviously I have sources of inspiration like I mentioned, but I want to design them, do my gauge, find the yarn, do the math. It's gonna be an undertaking, which is why it's a stretch goal, but I think I'm able to do it if I put my mind to it and my pen to the paper. With that, I don't really have anything else to say. I don't even have time to say anything else because I'm 2 minutes late. But I bought my Chiagu needle set. This is the 5-inch needles, a full set, because I saw it online for like $150 something. It was erroneously marked, but I still got them. Shout out to my local knitting store for letting me exchange the 4 inches that I purchased with the 5 inches because the 4 inches were just hurting my hands. I am so happy now that I have them because it's made trying things on so much easier, which is why those whips will not be there the next time I film this video. Okay? Those whips, goodbye. I don't have to wait for Wednesday. They're going to be gone. I also have a couple of fixed ones. I have this 5-inch fix that I'm going to return. I have 2 4-inch fixed ones that I used for the cuffs of my Easy Breezy Beautiful Girl. I made my breezy long sleeve top just because I was like knitting 3 here, 3 here, 5 here, 5 here. I just wanted that thing gone. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to not stress myself out with editing, so enjoy this long video. I hope you have a cup of tea near you. And I'm very grateful that you clicked on my video. Next time, hopefully, I get to show you a couple more new projects, a couple things that I say go into fruition. As for now, I'm gonna chug some bread and soup and head out the door because I have a 7 o'clock that's an hour away. Love you! Bye! Okay. It feels so weird to be in front of a camera. You guys, bread and soup, man. The classics.